the high elevation. We continued owling, and here we found a chick who was not yet good at flying, or landing, or taking off. I startled a bear one day and got to the top of the ridge where he had run away from me, and I thought, wouldn't it be strange if I could see him across the valley? And sure enough, he had gone all the way down and then all the way up to the other side. We visited a landowner to do some stream restoration, and he had a patch of flowers that had more bugs and birds than I could even believe. Hummingbirds are the real magicians of flight. Thousands of beats of their wings per minute, thousands of beats of their heart per minute. They just live in a whole different realm, a whole different speed. Meticulous, perfect nature of this bird to hit this plant, work around it. Seems so fast to us, but it's just standard operating procedure for them to maneuver the moving plants with such precision. Incredible.
What up? Yeah. What up, America? I just want to make a mental note. I've biked past this wash that I'm sitting in probably 20 times. In short, America, I've spent the last 4 nights bike riding without my camera for cardio and seeing Javelina and a Kawadi Monday. And tonight I brought my camera and set up shop. The preceding cut has kids on 4-wheelers coming through and scaring off every piece of wildlife for 150 miles. Maybe just yards, but it's fucked up. Get a horse, America. It's incredible.
It's amazing how much we can miss if we're not attuned to our surroundings. This deer was probably standing here the whole time those 4-wheelers went by, and it just took some dedication and staring up at the hillside, cliffside, to see it. That's usually how it goes in nature, though. We miss so much, and if we just stopped and stayed in one spot and really tried to internalize everything, well, we couldn't, but we'd get a lot more.
Eagle Peak, Fox Mountain, uncommon. Go ahead, Fox. Affirmative if you looked right at Buzzard Peak and just off the top there towards the Long Canyon Mountains. Okay, I'll give it a look. And also favor with from you. Would you see if you can locate that gulch fire that Pat turned in a couple of nights ago? We haven't been able to see it. Yeah, stand by one. Let me check out his notes here. Yeah, I never was able to see it, and it's supposed to.
I would often have long commutes between 2 job sites. On this one, the expanse caught my attention, and the people herding the cattle.
I don't know if you guys can see the brand on this cow, but you decide for yourself.
Again, on one of these long commutes between job sites, I saw some black-tailed jackrabbit. Two, really. A pair. Likely a breeding pair. It's at these times that I also like to listen to the radio chatter. I never really fully understood it, but it's so fascinating.
Division 6 Engineer 61, you copy? That was a negative. Could you repeat? Division 6 Engineer 61, go ahead.
Hey, Tony, just calling on the nature of the injury.
Yeah, just my right leg.
The radios they used were not a typical frequency. They would say, keep away from your head and don't use too often on the back of them, or similar warnings, because the frequency and the emissions from them were so powerful. So these people that I was listening to would often be miles and miles and miles and miles away. The scope of this was quite staggering. The Gila National Forest is bigger than the state of Connecticut, and there's far, far fewer people living here and working here and trying to manage the fires and wildlife and every other interaction that was going on. There was always time to stop for a few minutes to admire whatever wildlife you did happen upon. This guy had a bad case of bugs. When they lick their arms, sometimes they're doing it to get rid of the bugs. Sometimes they actually use it as a heat release mechanism. The veins on their arms are so close to the skin that when they lick it, the water leaving their body relieves the heat. Having enormous ears with thin skin or veins also helps. And boy, are they jackrabbits. This western kingbird was actually quite fascinating. It ate this bug, and I wondered where it had gotten it. And I spied it sitting over these ants. Hunting.
Division 6-4, service to dispatch, go ahead, Jim. Service to dispatch, copy 750, elevated trip.
The hare, the kingbird, and the peewees I saw driving in to help people tracking snakes. Driving out, I went through a patch of flowers and realized that there were a dozen or more hummingbirds. This was my last day in New Mexico, so I took a little extra time to eat an apple and watch the behavior of these critters. It was insane to see their long tongues sticking out of their beaks, knowing that they were using it to eat, and watching them, just watching them, sitting on a branch. Notice the incandescence on the neck here. Every time it turns the head, you can see it go from orange to dark, depending on the light. They were calling and buzzing around and chasing each other and eating, and I couldn't believe how many times, at least 10, I would see one chase after another and fly high in the sky and dive bomb down, all in complete control. It would be so quick and with such a buzz. The social behavior of hummingbirds around these flowers. A perfect place to really study it. So many hummingbirds in such a small area, I was able to park the truck and just lock in on them. It was hard to see them when they would be darting around, chasing each other with the naked eye, so getting it on camera was almost impossible. My best luck was when they were stationary, or feasting on a flower for a very long time. I slowed this one down to about 1/10 its normal speed. You'd never be able to see the wings. Frame rate on the camera would have to be 200 a second. Sure do miss this place.